At a time when slave labor was at its most profitable for America, Congress and President Thomas Jefferson supported calls for abolition. From 1808, importing slaves to America was prohibited as the cotton engine was invented and its production and demand for labor only rose. The 1808 Prohibition Act served as a great protection to the internal slave market, and slave owners doubled down. Quite chillingly, slave owners referred to breeding as a natural increase, despite the clear management and collective efforts that went into it. In an utter tangle of priorities, black women enslaved in America became a rare pillar, receiving free health care, if not the very first. As termed by Ned and Constance Sublettet in their book The American Slave Coast, the enslaved woman's womb became capitalized. Fertility and its safeguarding became of the utmost importance to those in the slave trade. It's understood that home medical journals began to be circulated to aid slaves through difficult births when the matter would have been previously disregarded. Black female slaves were expected to produce 4 to 5 children. Let there be no mistake, the high mortality rate of slaves was a cornerstone of breeding's importance. Good breeding stock was commonly used to advertise a female slave for sale. Many women in these circumstances would have found themselves being continually bartered and incentivized by slave and plantation owners. It was not uncommon for an enslaved woman to have been posed an offer of freedom should she bear 15 children. The reality was a child as young as 12 to 13 could be forced into pregnancy and give birth to a child that would be taken from her only to be forced into a life of slavery. But people had become products under this system. The means were nothing short of dehumanizing. Childbearing for women slaves would start as young as 13 years old. It's more than possible that 4 to 5 pregnancies would have been expected by the time she turned 20. Vulnerabilities faced by enslaved women in a system expecting breeding from them were multiple. It was not beneath this slave market of the 19th century America to sell women slaves during pregnancy. Many would contend that the life of a female slave in America would have been a cycle of rape, pregnancy,